It's just, again, I'm kind of dumbfounded with what you just testified, in that former politicians and politicians who are considered potential national security threats are being monitored.
Some of the latest versions of the spyware employ what's known as zero-click versions.
Cabinet ministers going to work for foreign companies that works directly against national security and national interests of Canada. Our society, and particularly our democracy, is under siege. Populist discourses, people using demagogy to try to convince people and to bring insecurity. So in that perspective, I totally support the idea of bringing more control.
Use of the Pegasus tool is recognized by the Council of Europe as a violation of Article 8 on the right to privacy of the European Convention on Human Rights.
On a eu à surveiller des agents, des parlementaires, effectivement, parce qu'il y a aujourd'hui des parlementaires de tous les niveaux, que ce soit municipal, provincial ou fédéral, qui sont à la solde de gouvernements étrangers et qui ne travaillent pas nécessairement pour le Canada.
A user, a government client of spyware, can simply issue a command and take over any device in the world, intercept and listen to any phone call. You can read emails and text messages, even those that are encrypted. You could silently turn on the camera and microphone. You can review all of the contacts. You can alter files on the device. You can access a person's cloud account. You can track their location.
Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share this video so we can get the word out.
You said politicians of all levels have been monitored. We don't need to name names, but can you give us a number of how many, in your experience, have been monitored?
No, I cannot give a definite number, considering the fact that in the concept of national security...
Is it in the 10s, in the 20s, is it in the hundreds? Can you give us something like that?
Again, it's difficult for me to mention the numbers because we work on a need-to-know basis. So if, for example, I have colleagues working on the Russian desk, they will not know if I'm working on the Chinese desk, some of the targets that I have. What we know for sure is that we have various foreign countries who succeeded in recruiting elected officials against municipal, provincial, or federal, and were capable to influence this way. We see that also when we see at the end of their mandate, cabinet ministers going to work for foreign companies that works directly against national security and national interests of Canada. So there's a certain concern when some people leave public office for what they've done, what they were during the public office, and what they do after public office. Very often also the politician or elected official, I like to say, are not necessarily the initial target, but they were actually came to the attention when we were watching foreign intelligence officers or foreign criminals or Canadian criminals being in contact with them. And it became a concern to either CSIS or the RCMP when these people demonstrated certain activities or certain actions that were questionable in light of their responsible office.
Is it just being used on Canadians, or are foreign nationals also, are they using the same software on foreign nationals?
To my knowledge, it's strictly on Canadians, but again, it's to be verified. I'm not aware of all the operational use. There is other form of surveillance that are done as well to track vehicles, to track individuals, other than with their cellular phone. So yes, there's a multitude of that. Not all surveillance equipment acquires information. Not all information is collected. Sometimes it's just to tag, quote unquote, a person or a vehicle or an object to be capable to follow that device that we are tagging.
A bit too much innuendo and accusations about mass surveillance in this committee, and even outlandish comparisons of the RCMP to the German Stasi. And I think that as a committee, we should come together and show support for the important work that the RCMP does do while ensuring their accountability under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So
Politics is downstream from culture, and the name War Campaign comes from our time fighting the culture war in comic books. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share this video so we can get the word out. My name is Rohan Kumar Paul, and I grew up loving comic books. I was disappointed and sickened by the modern degeneracy in the medium I loved, so I created a comic book company and launched the Vestige graphic novel series. Fighting the culture war with my brethren is where the War Campaign name comes from. Vestige is a world where legendary weapons of the past collide with the dawn of the modern era. These weapons bestow godlike supernatural powers to ordinary human beings, turning them into superheroes or supervillains. What if the relics of history carry their own powers in the spirits of those who had wielded them? Be sure to get on the WCFreedom.com mailing list and help support us in our fight for freedom. Help us keep doing what we do. Thank you sincerely. H for honor, A for accountability, I for integrity, and L for loyalty. Hail, brethren, and hail freedom!